Have you ever wondered what it feels like to walk through a town where time has completely stopped? Places once full of life, laughter, and hard work, now silent, abandoned, and hauntingly still. Michigan is home to ghost towns that carry stories of tragedy, mystery, and forgotten lives. From eerie cemeteries to deserted streets overtaken by nature, these towns will send chills down your spine. Join me as we uncover the 10 most haunted ghost towns you won't believe still exist. If you're enjoying this journey through Michigan's haunted ghost towns, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Travel Guide Hub so you never miss another adventure into the unknown. 1. Pere Cheney Cemetery, Michigan. Pere Cheney was a small lumber settlement established around 1865 in the dense forests of Leelanau County, Michigan. The town was built to support the booming logging industry, and it became home to workers, their families, and children who lived in modest wooden houses surrounded by towering trees and winding forest trails. Life in Pere Cheney revolved around the mills and logging operations, with families depending on the industry for their livelihood. The town, although small, had a close-knit community where neighbors helped one another and children played freely among the forests. By the early 1870s, the town faced a tragedy that would change its fate forever. A severe diphtheria epidemic swept through the settlement, striking down children and adults alike. Medical care was extremely limited at the time, and the disease spread with alarming speed. Families who had lived in the town for generations were wiped out almost overnight, and the once thriving community began to crumble. Within a few short years, the majority of residents had either succumbed to the illness or moved away in search of safer towns, leaving the settlement eerily quiet. As the logging industry declined further, there was little reason for anyone to remain, and Pere Cheney slowly became a ghost town. Today, the only reminder of this once lively settlement is the Pere Cheney Cemetery, where the tragic past is quietly preserved. Historical records confirm the existence of Pere Cheney as a logging town, with old maps and photographs showing small homes, mills, and the network of logging roads that once connected the community. Local historical societies maintain burial records and documents that reference the devastating epidemic, providing clear evidence of the town's short but significant history. Visitors today can locate the site easily on Google Earth, where the cemetery and remnants of the surrounding landscape still stand as silent witnesses to the past. Over the years, locals and visitors have reported strange occurrences at the cemetery. Some claim to hear footsteps or rustling in the forest when no one else is nearby, while others have reported faint laughter, believed to be that of children who once lived in the town. These stories, passed down through generations, have become part of local folklore. While there is no scientific proof of paranormal activity, the combination of the town's tragic history and desolate environment continues to give it a haunted reputation. All experiences and stories associated with Pere Cheney Cemetery are based on eyewitness accounts, local legends, and historical records. There is no scientific evidence proving supernatural activity at the site. However, the tragic history, desolation, and eerie atmosphere make it a place that continues to fascinate, intrigue, and sometimes frighten those who visit. 2. Fayette Historic Townsite, Michigan. Fayette Historic Townsite, located on the shores of Green Bay in Delta County, Michigan, was founded in 1867 as a bustling industrial town focused on iron smelting and shipping. The town grew rapidly due to the success of the Jackson Iron Company, which built blast furnaces to process iron ore mined from the surrounding region. Workers and their families moved to Fayette for employment, establishing homes, schools, and businesses. The community thrived for decades, and the town became a hub of industry and social activity, with children playing along the shoreline and workers busy at the furnaces. By the early 20th century, however, Fayette began to decline. Changes in the iron industry, including the depletion of local ore and the rise of more efficient smelting operations elsewhere, led to job losses and economic decline. families gradually moved away, seeking opportunities in larger cities or more prosperous towns. By the 1920s, the once thriving community had been largely abandoned. Today, the town remains a preserved historic site, with its well-maintained buildings, blast furnaces, and docks offering a glimpse into its industrial past. Historical records, including photographs, maps, and company documents, confirm Fayette's significance as a 19th-century industrial town. The Michigan State Historic Preservation Office has preserved much of the site, and visitors can still explore the buildings, old streets, and waterfront areas that once bustled with life. Local archives provide detailed accounts of the town's founding, daily operations, and the gradual exodus of its residents, allowing modern audiences to connect with Fayette's rich history. Over the years, Fayette has become associated with eerie reports and local legends. Visitors occasionally describe hearing faint industrial sounds, such as clanging metal or distant hammering, in areas where no activity currently exists. Some claim to have felt sudden chills or the sensation of being watched while walking through the deserted streets. Historians and locals note that these stories are largely anecdotal, passed down through generations, and should be viewed as folklore rather than verified supernatural occurrences. All paranormal claims related to Fayette Historic Townsite are based on eyewitness reports, local legends, and historical anecdotes. There is no scientific evidence supporting the presence of ghosts or supernatural activity. Nevertheless, the combination of abandoned buildings, quiet streets, and preserved industrial structures creates an atmospheric and haunting environment that continues to captivate visitors. Fayette serves as both a window into Michigan's industrial past and a place of intrigue for those drawn to abandoned and mysterious locations. 3. Central Mine Historic District, Michigan. Central Mine Historic District, located in the Keweenaw Peninsula of Michigan, was established in 1854 as a copper mining town. The settlement quickly grew around the central mine, attracting workers and their families from various regions, including many immigrants skilled in mining. Homes, schools, and community buildings were built to accommodate the population, and the town thrived as one of the prominent copper-producing centers in the state. Children played near the mining sites, and the community relied heavily on the operations of the mine for its livelihood. By the late 19th century, the mine began facing economic challenges. Fluctuating copper prices, technical difficulties in extraction, and the depletion of easily accessible ore led to a gradual decline in profitability. Workers started leaving for other mining opportunities, and families followed, seeking better prospects elsewhere. By the early 20th century, Central Mine had been mostly abandoned, leaving behind empty homes, schools, and the silent remains of the mining infrastructure. Today, the area is preserved as a historic district, with the remaining structures offering a glimpse into the life and labor of a once thriving mining town. Historical records, old photographs, and mining documents confirm the significance of Central Mine as a major copper producer in Michigan. Maps from the era show the layout of the town, the location of homes, and the routes connecting the mine to nearby ports. Local archives maintain detailed records of the workforce, families, and the gradual decline of the town, ensuring that modern visitors can trace its industrial past. Google Earth allows viewers to see the remnants of the settlement, including old building foundations and the mine's infrastructure. Over the years, Central Mine has become associated with eerie tales and reported experiences. Visitors have claimed to hear footsteps echoing through the empty streets or see shadows moving across abandoned buildings. Some report sudden chills or the sensation of being watched while exploring the site. These accounts, passed down by locals and tourists alike, have become part of the folklore surrounding Central Mine. Historians note that these stories are anecdotal and should be viewed as legends rather than scientifically verified occurrences. All paranormal experiences linked to Central Mine Historic District are based on local reports, eyewitness accounts, and historical lore. There is no scientific evidence proving supernatural activity at the site. However, the combination of abandoned structures, the silent town layout, and the history of labor and departure gives the area a haunting and mysterious atmosphere that continues to fascinate visitors and historians alike.
4. Phoenix Ghost Town, Michigan. Phoenix Ghost Town, located in the Keweenaw County of Michigan, was established in the mid-19th century as a small mining settlement. The town grew around the discovery of copper deposits in the region, attracting miners and their families from various parts of the United States and Europe. Wooden homes, small shops, and communal spaces were constructed to accommodate the population, and the community thrived as a close-knit settlement. Children played along the dusty streets while workers labored in the nearby mines, and daily life revolved entirely around mining operations. By the late 1800s, the town began to face challenges. Copper prices fluctuated dramatically, and the mining operations struggled with technical difficulties and limited resources. As profitability declined, families started moving away in search of better opportunities, and the population gradually dwindled. Over time, the town was completely abandoned, leaving behind empty wooden structures, rusted mining equipment, and streets overtaken by nature. Today, Phoenix Ghost Town stands as a haunting reminder of the boom and bust cycle of mining settlements in Michigan. Historical records, including old maps, photographs, and mining company documents, confirm the existence and layout of Phoenix. These records detail the locations of homes, the mines themselves, and the routes used to transport copper. Local historical societies maintain archives of workers and residents, providing insight into the daily life of the town. Modern visitors can still locate the area on Google Earth, where remnants of the settlement, including building foundations and mine entrances, remain visible. Over the years, Phoenix has been associated with eerie stories and reported experiences. Visitors have claimed to hear the sound of footsteps echoing through deserted streets or faint voices near abandoned buildings. Some have reported sudden drops in temperature or the unsettling sensation of being observed while exploring the site. Historians and locals emphasize that these accounts are anecdotal, passed down as part of local folklore, and should be considered reports rather than verified paranormal activity. All supernatural claims related to Phoenix Ghost Town are based on eyewitness reports, local legends, and historical documentation. There is no scientific evidence proving the presence of ghosts or other paranormal activity. Nevertheless, the abandoned structures, quiet streets, and rich history create a haunting atmosphere that continues to intrigue visitors, offering a glimpse into Michigan's mining past while evoking curiosity, mystery, and a sense of unease.
5. Victoria Historic Site, Michigan. Victoria Historic Site, located in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, was founded in the mid-1800s as a small industrial settlement centered around iron mining and smelting operations. The town quickly developed as workers and their families moved in, building homes, schools, and small businesses to support the growing community. Daily life in Victoria revolved around the mines and furnaces, with children playing near the streets and adults working long hours in the harsh industrial environment. The town was modest in size, but tightly knit, with neighbors helping one another through the challenges of frontier life. By the late 19th century, Victoria began to decline. The iron ore deposits in the area became harder to access, and the cost of smelting increased while profitability decreased. Many families gradually moved to nearby towns or cities in search of better opportunities, leaving the settlement sparsely populated. By the early 20th century, the town had been almost entirely abandoned, leaving behind buildings, furnaces, and remnants of streets that once bustled with life. Today, the Victoria Historic Site is preserved as a testament to Michigan's industrial past, offering visitors the chance to explore the remains of homes, workplaces, and iron smelting operations. Historical records, old photographs, and mining documents confirm Victoria's development and eventual decline. Maps from the era show the layout of streets, residential areas, and industrial sites. Local archives include records of residents, workers, and the iron production processes, providing detailed insight into the town's history. Google Earth allows viewers to see the preserved structures and surrounding landscape, making the site accessible for those who wish to explore it virtually. Over time, Victoria has become associated with ghost stories and local legends. Visitors have reported hearing unexplained noises such as footsteps or the distant clang of machinery in areas where no activity currently exists. Some have claimed to feel sudden chills or a presence while walking through the abandoned buildings. Historians emphasize that these reports are anecdotal and form part of local folklore rather than scientifically verified occurrences. All paranormal experiences connected to Victoria Historic Site are based on eyewitness reports, local legends, and historical accounts. There is no scientific evidence proving the presence of ghosts or supernatural activity. Nevertheless, the abandoned buildings, industrial ruins, and quiet streets create an atmospheric and haunting environment that continues to intrigue visitors, offering a glimpse into Michigan's past while evoking mystery, curiosity, and a subtle sense of unease. 6. Singapore Ghost Town, Allegan County, Michigan. Singapore Ghost Town, located on the shores of Lake Michigan in Allegan County, was established in the mid-1800s as a lumber and shipping settlement. The town's prime location along the lake made it ideal for transporting lumber and other goods, attracting workers, their families, and merchants. Homes, a general store, a post office, and small docks were constructed to accommodate the growing population. Life in Singapore revolved around the lumber industry, with workers felling trees in the surrounding forests and shipping timber across the Great Lakes. The town was lively and industrious, with children playing along the shoreline and families relying on the thriving trade for survival. By the late 19th century, Singapore faced a series of natural and economic challenges. Shifting sand dunes gradually encroached upon the town, making some areas unstable and difficult to live in. Additionally, fires and fluctuations in the lumber market weakened the town's economy. Many residents moved away to safer towns with more stable opportunities, leaving Singapore increasingly deserted. By the early 1900s, the town was almost entirely abandoned, and over time, much of it was buried beneath the dunes. Today, only traces of the settlement remain, but its story continues to fascinate historians and visitors alike. Historical records, including maps, photographs, and documents from local archives, confirm the town's existence and layout. These records provide information about the residents, businesses, and the gradual decline of Singapore. Visitors can still identify remnants of the settlement on Lake Michigan's shoreline, and Google Earth allows modern explorers to view the approximate locations where homes, docks, and businesses once stood. Over the years, Singapore Ghost Town has been linked to eerie stories and local legends. Some visitors report hearing faint sounds of footsteps or voices near areas where no one lives, while others describe the unsettling sensation of being watched. These reports, passed down by locals and tourists, have become part of the folklore surrounding the town. Historians emphasize that these experiences are anecdotal and should be considered as part of local legend rather than scientifically verified phenomena. All paranormal claims connected to Singapore Ghost Town are based on eyewitness reports, local folklore, and historical documentation. There is no scientific evidence proving the presence of ghosts or supernatural activity. Nevertheless, the combination of abandoned structures, shifting dunes, and a hauntingly desolate environment continues to captivate visitors, offering both a glimpse into Michigan's lumber past and a sense of mystery that lingers even today.
7. Mandeville Ghost Town, Michigan. Mandeville Ghost Town, located in Manistee County, Michigan, was established in the late 19th century as a small railroad and lumber settlement. The town grew around the local railway line, which was used to transport lumber and goods to larger markets. Workers and their families settled here, building modest homes, schools, and small businesses to serve the community. Daily life in Mandeville revolved around the railway and the surrounding forests, with children playing along the tracks and adults working long hours to maintain the town's economic activity. By the early 20th century, Mandeville began to decline. Changes in the lumber industry, including over-harvesting and the depletion of nearby forests, reduced employment opportunities. The decline of the railway's importance for transportation further weakened the town's economy. Families gradually moved to larger towns or cities in search of work, leaving the community sparsely populated. Over time, Mandeville was completely abandoned, leaving behind empty homes, decaying structures, and the remnants of the railway that had once been the town's lifeline. Today, the site of Mandeville Ghost Town serves as a quiet reminder of the fleeting nature of industrial settlements in Michigan. Historical records, photographs, and maps confirm Mandeville's development and eventual decline. Local archives contain documentation about the town's residents, businesses, and the railway operations that supported the community. Modern visitors can locate the area on Google Earth, where foundations of buildings, old railway tracks, and the surrounding forested landscape remain visible, providing a tangible connection to the town's history. Over the years, Mandeville has been linked to various reports of unusual occurrences. Visitors have claimed to hear footsteps on empty streets, faint sounds of train whistles, or the sensation of being watched while exploring the abandoned structures. These accounts, passed down through local stories and visitor experiences, have become part of the folklore surrounding the town. Historians note that while these reports are intriguing, they are anecdotal and should be considered as folklore rather than verified evidence of paranormal activity. All reported supernatural experiences associated with Mandeville Ghost Town are based on eyewitness accounts, local legends, and historical documentation. There is no scientific evidence supporting the existence of ghosts or paranormal activity at the site. Nevertheless, the combination of abandoned structures, decaying railway remnants, and the quiet, isolated environment creates a haunting atmosphere that continues to draw curiosity and fascination, offering visitors a glimpse into Michigan's past while evoking mystery and intrigue.
8. Dodge City Ghost Town, Michigan. Dodge City Ghost Town, located in Grand Traverse County, Michigan, was established in the late 1800s as a small lumber and farming settlement. The town grew around the timber industry, with workers cutting trees in the surrounding forests and transporting lumber to nearby towns and markets. Families settled in modest wooden homes, establishing schools, shops, and community spaces. Life in Dodge City revolved around hard work in the timber industry, and the town, though small, had a lively community with children playing in the streets and neighbors supporting one another. By the early 20th century, Dodge City began to face challenges. Fires, common in timber towns of the era, damaged several buildings, and fluctuations in the lumber market reduced job opportunities. Many families chose to leave in search of more stable towns or cities, and the population slowly declined. Eventually, Dodge City was abandoned, leaving behind decaying structures, overgrown streets, and the remnants of a once active community. Today, the ghost town stands as a quiet and eerie reminder of the logging industry and small-town life in Michigan's past. Historical records, old maps, and photographs confirm Dodge City's existence and layout. Local archives contain information about the town's residents, businesses, and the timber industry that sustained the community. Visitors can explore the area via Google Earth, where foundations, old roads, and the surrounding forested land remain visible. These remnants allow modern audiences to connect with the town's history and visualize life in a small 19th century settlement. Over the years, Dodge City has been associated with strange occurrences and local legends. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps on deserted streets, faint sounds resembling tools or machinery, or feeling an unexplained presence while exploring the abandoned homes. Some also claim to see shadowy figures moving among the ruins. These accounts, passed down through local folklore and visitor reports, are anecdotal and should be considered as part of the town's legend rather than scientifically verified evidence. All paranormal experiences linked to Dodge City Ghost Town are based on eyewitness reports, local stories, and historical documentation. There is no scientific evidence confirming supernatural activity. Nevertheless, the abandoned homes, quiet streets, and surrounding forest create a haunting and mysterious atmosphere that continues to intrigue visitors, offering both a glimpse into Michigan's past and a sense of eerie fascination that lingers long after leaving the site.
9. Rexton, Michigan. Rexton, Michigan was established in the late 19th century as a small mining and lumber settlement in the Upper Peninsula. The town developed around nearby copper and timber resources, attracting workers and their families from across the region. Wooden homes, a general store, and small community buildings were constructed to support the growing population. Life in Rexton revolved around the hard labor of mining and logging, with children playing along quiet streets and adults dedicating long hours to sustaining the town's industry. Despite its modest size, Rexton had a tight-knit community where neighbors relied on one another for survival in the harsh and isolated environment. By the early 20th century, Rexton faced a gradual decline. The depletion of copper ore and the reduction of logging opportunities led many residents to seek work elsewhere. Families slowly moved to larger towns and cities, leaving behind empty homes and abandoned streets. The town eventually became a ghost settlement, with only remnants of its former structures and mining operations remaining. Today, Rexton stands as a quiet reminder of the boom and bust cycles that shaped Michigan's small industrial and mining communities. Historical records, old photographs, and maps confirm Rexton's existence and layout, documenting its residential areas, small businesses, and the mines and logging sites that supported the town. Local archives contain details about the residents, the town's operations, and its decline, providing insight into the daily life of the settlement. Visitors can locate Rexton on Google Earth, where foundations, overgrown streets, and remnants of industrial sites remain visible, allowing modern explorers to connect with the town's history. Over the years, Rexton has become associated with eerie stories and local folklore. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps along deserted streets, distant sounds of machinery or chopping, and the sensation of being observed in abandoned buildings. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures moving among the ruins. These reports, shared by locals and tourists alike, are anecdotal and should be considered part of the town's folklore rather than scientifically verified events. All paranormal experiences related to Rexton are based on eyewitness accounts, local legends, and historical records. There is no scientific evidence confirming the presence of ghosts or supernatural activity. Nevertheless, the combination of abandoned structures, quiet streets, and forested surroundings creates a haunting atmosphere that continues to intrigue visitors, offering both a glimpse into Michigan's past and an enduring sense of mystery.
10. Gulliver Lake, Schoolcraft County, Michigan. Gulliver Lake, located in Schoolcraft County, Michigan, was originally a small settlement established in the late 19th century, primarily to support local logging and fishing industries. The town grew slowly, with workers and their families building modest homes near the lake and establishing a small community. Life revolved around the natural resources of the area, with timber harvesting, fishing, and small-scale farming providing the main sources of livelihood. Children played along the lake's shoreline, while adults labored long hours to sustain the town's economy. Despite its remote location, Gulliver Lake developed into a functional and close-knit settlement. By the early 20th century, the town began to decline. The logging industry gradually exhausted the surrounding forests, and changes in the economy led many residents to leave in search of better opportunities in nearby towns and cities. As the population decreased, homes were abandoned and the streets and lakeside areas became increasingly quiet. Eventually, Gulliver Lake transitioned into a ghost town, with nature slowly reclaiming the area. Today, remnants of the settlement, including old foundations and pathways, still remain visible, providing a tangible connection to the town's history. Historical records, photographs, and maps confirm the existence and layout of Gulliver Lake. Local archives contain information about the residents, the logging operations, and the daily life of the town during its brief period of activity. These records allow modern visitors to understand the town's past and the reasons for its decline. The site can be explored virtually through Google Earth, where the lake, old homesteads, and surrounding forests are clearly visible. Over time, Gulliver Lake has become associated with local legends and reports of unusual experiences. Visitors have claimed to hear footsteps along the deserted paths, faint voices, or the sound of movement near abandoned structures. Some report a sense of being watched while exploring the area, and others describe sudden chills or eerie sensations. These accounts, passed down by locals and visitors, are anecdotal and should be regarded as folklore rather than verified paranormal events. All paranormal stories related to Gulliver Lake are based on eyewitness reports, local legends, and historical documentation. There is no scientific evidence confirming ghostly or supernatural activity at the site. Nevertheless, the abandoned homes, quiet lakeside, and surrounding forests create a haunting and mysterious atmosphere, continuing to captivate visitors and offering both a glimpse into Michigan's past and an enduring sense of intrigue. As we leave these abandoned towns behind, it's hard not to imagine the lives that once filled these streets, homes, and workplaces. Each place holds a story of hope, hardship, and sometimes tragedy, preserved only in memory, records, and the whispers of locals. Whether it's the chilling silence of Pere, Cheney, or the haunting remnants of Gulliver Lake, these ghost towns remind us of the fleeting nature of life and industry. If you enjoyed this journey through Michigan's most haunted ghost towns, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life mysteries waiting to be explored.